The other thing is, I I found that I started traveling at night and then starting to sleep in little short naps during the daytime. And the reason for that is I was worried about hypothermia. Now you're going to say, wow, it's June, the month of June. But June up there on the northwest coast means it could be like wintertime, also very cold and damp. So I keep going in the winter, I keep going at nighttime, knowing that I was really worried about hypothermia, and it was really an issue. And then the sun would come out strong enough during the daytime that I'd find a little sandy beach. Most of the beach was rock or wood or kind of logging ship or logging mill kind of discards, sharp stones and that kind of thing. But every once in a while I found a little bit of sand on a beach, and I'd curl up on the sand and I'd go to sleep. So I'd sleep by day, a little bit short naps, and do my walking. Because I had a strategy in my mind where I was going to try to get out of this fix that I was in.
So, don't mean to interrupt, but
No.
what were your shipmates doing at this point in time, do you think?
Well, I think they thought I just wandered off and committed suicide or something, was one thought. And seriously, because the backgrounder to shed more light on that is that we hadn't been catching any fish. I don't know if you've ever been on a fish boat with a whole bunch of guys. And remember, with halibut, you have to go deep in debt just to untie the boat and float off to the fishing grounds. So we're thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt before day one. Okay, that is for bait and food and grub and ice and all the knives and lines and this incredible amount of gear that goes with halibut fishing, and we had to be responsible for all of it. We were all split up, the skipper and all the deckies. So you're already thousands and thousands in debt, each one of us. We're not catching any fish. This heavy weather means that we're going to hide out during these weather days, and everybody was in a really, really bad mood. And what I did is I saw the endbreaker, that's the greenhorn, the young guy that goes usually on every trip. There's a young guy who was in training. He's called the endbreaker. He was being picked on just incredibly by the deck boss. And I told the deck boss to go stuff it, and stop picking on the endbreaker so much. So he started picking on me, and I don't know, things got really ugly. We weren't catching fish. Everybody's in a pissy boat. We all realized that we're going to do all this hard work. Yeah, my friends, halibut fishing is 6,000 calories a day that you burn. 6,000 calories a day. Doesn't matter if you go out as big as a blimp, you come back nice and skinny. And anyway, you're burning 6,000 calories a day.
There are a lot of women, and then also women.
Yeah, but the thing is that the hard work with halibut fishing, you hit the dock and you don't catch fish, and for all of the 6,000 calories a day that you've been burning, you're thousands of dollars in debt that you've got to owe to the fish store or to the skipper or to the boat owners or something like that. So, or the company. And so everybody was in a really bad mood, and I don't know, because there was all this fighting between me and the deck boss. The deck boss was number 2, skipper's 1, deck boss is 2, and the rest of us lesser minions are they're on the deck doing the work. I don't know, they just thought that maybe something like that happened, but after a while there was real concern, and I think the military and search and rescue and the RCMP started looking for me eventually. So, I mean, I wasn't thinking when I was wandering through the woods looking for a way out of any of that. What I was thinking about is I had thought that I had seen on a navigation map that there was a light station somewhere on part of the island, and I got it turned around in my mind, and actually the light station was a lot further away from me. No, sorry. I thought the light station was further away from me than it was. It was actually very close to me. So I started going in the general direction, keeping on the coast, because after a while I figured if I'm on the interior of the island and I get turned around, I'll be going God knows where. But if I stay on the coastline, let's keep the coast, I can keep, the west side to my left, going straight would be north, and, I could kind of figure out which way I was going, and I wouldn't be turning around and going in circles, which I had been doing previously. It's a very long story, but I'll get to the punchline. I was going for this lighthouse station, and it was, I thought, very, very far away on the northeast corner of the island, and it turned out to be on the northwest corner. And I was very close to the northwest corner, and I stumbled accidentally on this light station. And it was all but automated, like a lot of these light stations. The federal government wanted to save money, so they were automating them. And nobody was stationed at anyone. But the last of the techies were still automating this light station, and were still there. And I went from building to building, and everything was deserted. And I figured, well, this is one of those automated stations. I'll find a radio. God knows how to work it. Not too technically inclined, but I'll somehow try to figure out, if I find a radio, see if I can work it. Tell everybody, hey, I'm lost. Come, help, come get me. And at one of the last places I checked, I would sing out when I went into a building, hey, is anybody home? And I heard a voice says, yeah, is that you? That was an odd response, and I thought, is that you? And I thought, what does that mean? I guess, I mean, another guy here at the station. And he said, no, what I meant is you, the guy who's been lost for days, and we're all been looking for you. A little bit of a postscript here is that there was a huge party planned for the military base that coming weekend, which was a day or two away. And they were dutifully out and about looking for me, but they were thinking, God, I hope we find the guy dead. I figured, by the way, that I'd be dead before the party on the weekend, because we're really looking forward to this big party. I guess the party was going to be in Masset or on the military base or Queen Charlotte Islands. And the RCMP, I think, figured that I was a goner because of the weather, the fact that I wear thick glasses. Somehow they talked to some friends and I said, he's blind and he's lost. He's blind and he's lost in the woods, so hey, he's a goner. But the thing is, no, I wasn't a goner. I guess a couple of times was close calls. But the thing
But you're still with us.
I'm still in the land of the living, and
Still cranking out lovely articles
for Street Feed, Street newspaper. Yeah. But I guess there's more to add, sort of as a sidebars in that. But
how do you think that affected you spiritually?
well, for a short while, it changed how I feel about anything and everything, and then I guess normal, everyday kinds of responsibilities and tasks and errands called. And what happened is I started going back into the same routine of thinking and acting and behaving and everything else. But it gave quite a fright to my wife. I was married at the time. We were living together in Prince Rupert, British Columbia. And she was happy to see me alive. But at one point during the several days and nights that I was gone, the RCMP visited her to tell her that we don't hold out much hope. We figure that he's going to be a goner, but we haven't found a body. And so what happened is, this is kind of funny. I had told my wife, that for many years I've been a radical street politico and an activist. And if the cops ever come to the door talking about me, about anything, you deny that you know anything about me. And so she was there saying, no, never heard of the guy. And the police interpreted this as the Mounties interpreted this as meaning that she was so overcome with grief that she just couldn't bear to think of her husband dead or something like that. And she kept saying, no, never heard of the guy. No, you got the wrong address here. No, sorry. And the thing is the Mounties were after a while thinking, well, let's back off and let this woman grieve in her own unique sort of way. But so it was strange. And then eventually I did show up. And that's another bunch of long stories because the police thought that, I don't want to get into it, but there's a lot of explaining I had to do.